Here we have the inside of the Auto-Trail Tribute T736. If we firstly come to the main control panel, we can turn the 12 volt on just here. Once we've done this, we can turn the water pump on and off just beneath. Water pump needs to be on so we can get water out of the taps, flush the toilet and fill the boiler if it's been drained down. Next we have leisure battery and condition of, and then we have vehicle battery and condition of. Whichever battery you've selected on here is the battery that you are using to run the back end of the motorhome, but also if you're hooked up to main supply, this is the battery that you are charging. Lastly, we have water level, so how much fresh water is in the tank. Beside the main control panel, we then just have awning light on and off. If we now come across to the top locker just here, we have the solar panel regulator and controller just here. You'll see that there's a little sticker just here, and you'll see that it's a rocker switch. So if we're in the middle, as stated on here, the solar panel is turned off. And then if we flick up to position 1, we are charging the vehicle battery off the solar panel. And if we flick it down, we are charging the leisure battery off the solar panel. You will get a charge status in the window just here. So at the moment you will see the leisure battery is fully charged, and if I now flick to the vehicle, you will see that this is also fully charged at the moment, so the solar panel will be in float mode. Next we have the consumer unit. So at the very top here we have battery charger on and off. Obviously we want this turned on so when we're hooked up to the main supply, the charger is charging the batteries. Next we have the trip switches. So we have the 3 individual MCBs and the main RCD and test button just here. So if something's not working on main supply, just come to this location here to see whether or not you have tripped. And we then have the 12 volt fuses just here, and again they're all labelled up. Beneath the seat just here we have the location of the leisure batteries. So this motorhome has been fitted with 2 batteries, so we have one sitting in the floor just here, and then we have the second just sitting here, both running in parallel with each other. The main fuse for this is just here. If we now come to the Dometic fridge, on and off just here, you'll see at the moment we are running on mains electricity with a little picture of the 2-pin plug. If I want to run the fridge on gas, just press the flame button. These fridges would automatically ignite themselves. And then lastly we have 12 volt maintain for when we are driving. So if I now press this at the moment, it's going to beep at us and we're going to get a red flashing triangle because the engine isn't running. This is exactly the same as what you would get if you were trying to light it on gas and you didn't have the bottles turned on, or the gas had run out, or there may be a little bit of air in the system. To allow the fridge to try to relight itself, just press the triangle here and it will reset itself. It is stated just here. Temperature control just here. And then push down to open. we then have the removable freezer box just here. It does have the clips just either side, just there. To put it in the vent position for when not in use, just push this part in and slide it towards you, and this will then allow the door to be held on a jar. Next we have the microwave. Do make sure that all contents are removed for travel. Just press the eco button to turn the unit on, and then it behaves like any normal microwave. You have quick start just here, stop, timer settings, auto cook up here and defrost, etc. Beneath it we then have the hob. So we have 3 gas rings on this model, and it's just push in, twist and press the igniter. Beneath this we then have the oven and the grill. For the oven, push in and turn to the left, and then for the grill, push in and turn to the right. Beneath the cooker you will find the gas isolation taps just here. They are all in the on position and can stay like that. I always say they're more for maintenance than anything else. If you smell gas, go to the source and turn the gas bottles off. But we have at the top here hob and cooker, then the fridge. We then have hot water and heating. Across this side we then have the plugs for the fridge and the heating. Next we have the fire. If we're going to use this on gas, it's just a matter of turning round. You should be able to hear the igniter ticking, and then hold in. Once it's lit, the igniter will stop, but secondly you can peer for the pilot light. Not the easiest thing to get on camera, but there you go. If you ever turn this dial and you don't hear the ticking noise to light, it may mean that the igniter needs a new battery, and the battery is located at the base of the unit just here. All you have to do is just slide it up and you'll see there's a little AA battery just here. To operate the circulation fan, so then the warm air can be circulated out of all the air ducts around the motorhome. Come to this section here, we have a upper dial and a lower dial. The upper dial just controls the fan speed, and the lower dial turns it on. Turn it to M for manual, and then control the fan speed. A will not work in this motorhome. You do have to have another thermostat added. And if it is just a warm day and you just want to circulate the air, you can pop it onto this one here. If you are going to use the electric element in this fire, you need to just come around the corner just here, and we have the controls just here. Inner dial controls the thermostat, and then you'll see we have an outer dial just here. So if I now flick it up, we would be running that electric element on mains electricity using 2 kilowatts. If we now flick it down, we're running it on a low 500 watts. And if I flick down again, 1 kilowatt. So mainly just dependent on the amperage of the site you're on to try to avoid tripping. Above it, we just have the light switch. Freestanding table just located here. TV bracket here. And aerial fly lead point just here. The television aerial is in the wardrobe. So on and off just underneath here. Control the boost on the dial just here. The aerial is a static 360 degrees, so there's no masts or anything that needs to be put up. Also in here we have the table and pole that can locate in the floor just here. If we now come under this section just here, you will find the location of the water pump just here and the boiler just in the corner. To drain the boiler down for winterization, it's done on the yellow lever just here. Firstly, make sure the water pump is turned off and then just flap up like so. To refill, flap back over, make sure you have water in the fresh water tank, turn the water pump on, and then it will begin to prime itself back up again. You will need to open up your taps, etc., to release any airlocks in the system. Once the water is running freely, you can then close them back up again and the system will then fully reprime itself. Above my head just here we have the Omnivent fan. To operate this, wind the roof vent open and then push the middle button to turn the unit on. And then we have arrows out for extraction, arrows in for cooling, variable fan speed by pressing. Do make sure that all of the roof vents are closed for travel. For hot water, we just need to come to this location here and you will see that we have 2 controls, one for the boiler on electric and one for the boiler on gas. Easy to tell the difference because we have boiler EL for electric and 230 volt just here. So if we want hot water via the main supply, flick the rocker switch up for water at about 50 degrees and flick the rocker switch down for water at about 70 degrees. For hot water on gas, exactly the same again, but do make sure that you have removed the flue cover from the outside or otherwise it will not light. Flick it up for hot water 50 and flick it down for hot water at 70. If it fails to light, a red light will appear when my finger is about here. If we now come into the washroom, we have the Thetford toilet just here. The bowl does swivel all about. To open to the cassette, just come to the grey lever just here and slide it across. Then all we need to do is push the blue button to flush and then close the cassette back up again. If this has been left open and you try to remove the cassette from the outside, it will not come out. So if you do feel resistance, just make sure that nobody's left it open. Level indicator just here. This will rotate round to red when the cassette needs emptying. We then have the basin just here, and then the shower cubicle. Do make sure that the shower screen is fully clipped back as it is at the moment for travel.